What kind of words or emotions come to mind when you hear the word destruction? More often than not, it's probably words like natural disaster, tornado, tidal wave, a bombing, fires, or emotions like anger, sadness, shame, guilt, upset, and fear. But what if we've been looking at destruction all wrong? What if there was another way to see it? In today's video, I'm going to give you an alternative way to look at destruction. And I'll start by telling you a story about an Indian spiritual master named Bapuji. Bapuji lived in India in a very small home with 16 other people, many of which included his wife and his children. At a certain point in time, Bapuji invited an American woman named Janet to come and stay with him while she was on her trip to India. So Janet arrives to Bapuji's home, and on the first morning she decides to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to meditate like a good little yogi. So she wakes up, lights a little candle and puts it on the stoop, and gets down and begins to meditate and fall into the stillness. After a few moments go by, Janet begins to feel some heat. So she comes to from her meditation, she opens her eyes and she sees that the room is on fire. It's quickly spreading and she's not able to put it out, so she runs to go get help. Bapuji and his children wake up, they get buckets of water and they come flying in and they're able to put out the fire. And after it was all said and done and the fire was put out, Bapuji's wife and children's clothes were entirely turned to ash, and a good portion of the house was wrecked. So at this point, as you can imagine, Janet is a wreck. She's sobbing and she's assuming that Bapuji is going to be furious. But good old Bapuji, he looks around at all the damage and destruction, and all he has to say is, "Thank you. This has been a blessing." I want you all to take a moment to imagine yourself in this scenario. A stranger causes a fire in your house. Your loved ones were put at risk. Your home is ruined, and some of your most prized possessions are destroyed. What kind of emotions and reactions would you bring to that type of scenario? Well, that happened to Bapuji, and his response was, "Thank you. This has been a blessing." You see, Bapuji and his family decided they were going to live by this rule, to thank God in all circumstances, even in the ones that didn't make any sense to them. Because Bapuji understood that in order for the new to be created, the old must be destroyed. Oftentimes, hanging on to the old prevents the new from coming in. What are you hanging on to? Is it an old unhealthy job or relationship? Is it some event from your past? Maybe old habits or behaviors that you know don't serve you? How can you expect something new to come into your life if you're not willing to let go of the old? Now I invite you all to say an affirmation with me to wrap up today's video. The affirmation is, "I give thanks in all circumstances, no matter what. Today I am open to new creative possibilities." Today's video was inspired by Janet Attwood in her unbelievably life-changing book called The Passion Test, which I highly recommend, so I've gone ahead and placed an Amazon link to the book below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time.